turn now to today's health headlines. It is World Mental Health Day. What to know about mental health as we head into fall, how to know if it's time to seek help, and what to know about ketamine for treatment-resistant depression.
Joining us to talk about all of this, Dr. Gerard Sanacora, director of the Yale Depression Research Program and professor of psychiatry at Yale School of Medicine. Doctor, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
You're very welcome. Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. Well, now that we are moving into the autumn and winter seasons, are people more likely to struggle with mental health issues at this time of the year?
So we do see seasonal variability in mental health issues, and the fall and winter is a time when we do see an increase in major depression primarily. And it could be due to several different factors. We do know that the days are shortened, daylight is shortened, and some people are very sensitive to the reduced levels of daylight. But other people are also sensitive to the fact that with shorter days, there's less time for exercise, there's less time for socialization that could really have an impact. And also the fact that many people experience increased stress levels during this time. The return to school, the school schedule, and increased work demands on many people. So we do see an increase around this time, and it's important to be cognizant and be aware of how you're doing.
Yeah, you mentioned so many people may experience some kind of seasonal depression as we head into this time of year. So when should you consider seeking help for your depressive symptoms?
So there are certain symptoms that we really consider harbingers of, potential worsening, and those include things like loss of appetite or overeating that we should be really aware of. Sleep disturbances are real important and to be aware of any major changes in your sleep cycles. Energy levels dramatically changing. And then obviously the things that we really worry about is when you get caught in this ruminative thinking, very negativistic thinking, and then, obviously any thoughts of feeling life isn't worth living is a reason to immediately seek help.
When we talk about some of the things people can do to target their depression, a lot of people go to talk therapy or perhaps have some medication treatments. But when those aren't working, now there's a lot of talk about ketamine or esketamine treatments. So can you tell us a little bit more about those options?
Yeah, I've been in the field for 30 some odd years. And I say this is an incredibly exciting time. There are so many new treatments, especially for depression, being evaluated in clinical trials at this time. A very exciting time with potentially very beneficial treatments coming out. Ketamine was really the first of that. Now, the first of these new drugs to be developed and actually receive a version of this receive FDA approval in the form of intranasal esketamine. We now have really good data. We recently published a paper on the first 58,000 people that received the treatment, safety data, and we really understand a good bit about the safety. And it's relatively well tolerated and a good treatment, especially for people that didn't benefit from the standard talk therapies or medication therapies that's out there. But it's not for everybody. And that's what I really want to make sure. That safety data was on the very rigorous safety conditions that were set up by the FDA. And what was followed. We worry a little bit about the use of this treatment outside of those boundaries. We know much less about that. So I usually advise patients that are seeking the treatment just to make sure that they're going to a place that is reputable, that you are getting some real mental health care in addition to just getting these treatments.
Right.
I would argue if you're at the point where you are at the level of needing this treatment, it's really good idea to have a mental health care provider also following you.
And it's great to know that there are so many options. Dr. Gerard Sanacora, thank you so much for joining us today from the Yale Depression Research Program there. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks seeing you again. Thanks. Bye.
All right.